Hi, everyone. This is Candy Johnson. I am your host, and this is Real Talk brought to you by Real Raw Records. Today's topic is Did You Know? Now, for those of you who didn't know or are new to my channel or this broadcast, most of our broadcasts have titles that are posed as a question. And sometimes those questions are complete, and then sometimes those questions are leading to whatever the subject is. And this is one of those topics where sometimes the rest of the question is different. Okay. So on this particular broadcast, we're asking the question, did you know? And the rest of that question is, did you know that poor people can be greedy? Okay. And I'll warn you now. I am known for very controversial topics, but I'm also very known for bringing things to light that people very rarely think about. Okay. And because people very rarely think about things, what happens is we kind of get into the grind of just going with the flow or following the leaders or doing what everybody else is doing or accepting whatever is thrown at us, so to speak. Okay, so it doesn't mean that I've created something new or made up some shit because I introduced an angle of or a different perspective of a particular topic or view. I don't bring anything that's really controversial as much as it is just different than the norm. Okay. And I like to do that because I think people fall into the zone of ignorance. Ignorance doesn't mean that you don't have any knowledge. It just means that you don't have enough. All right. For whether to fulfill whatever purpose there is a need for knowledge. Okay. So this is the reason for these topics, did you know topics, or we also have one that says, how dumb can you be? All right. Because we fall into doing dumb things, even though we may be intelligent people. Many times we fall into doing and thinking, you know, kind of stupid ways or dumb ways, or ways that, when I say dumb, I don't mean that you're less than. I just mean when I say dumb is, I don't think you're giving it much thought, and kind of like dumbly following like a lamb to the slaughter, and or naive. Okay. So we use the word dumb because it gets people's attention. But what I'm really referring to is the naivety of people that think they know. Some people are even arrogant to the extent that they are very confident in either incomplete information, or they are very confident in things that has no substance at all. Okay, we discussed that in one of the other broadcasts about the differences between confidence and ego. And I feel there's so much involved with confidence and ego that we really do need to do more on that series. But for now, let's discuss this topic, did you know? And did you know that poor people can be greedy? Okay. And a lot of poor people are greedy. All right. Now, when you think of poor, let's be clear about um, when I use the word poor in this particular um, scenario. Please understand that I am not referring to um, what they show you on TV when they're trying to get the donations, and they show you the poor people in Africa that's without food and don't have homes and things like that, and they don't even have proper clothing and stuff like that. When I say poor, though, that's not what I'm referring to. Okay, I'm more so referring to the Americanized standard poor. All right, because I'm from America. All I know about other countries is what I see on TV, and half that's a lie. Okay, so when I'm speaking concerning poor, I'm speaking in regards to a lot of people that fit that criteria, not based upon their income status, but based upon their mentality. So I want you to know and understand that there is a difference between being having a lower income um, and actually being a poor mentality person. Okay, and we're gonna get into that, and we're gonna have to get into details in order for me to prove my point to you. Okay, or explain what I mean by what I said. Okay, and I don't mind doing that. And this is how we get understanding of what's really going on in the picture. All right, I have been financially poor. Okay, I have been without money. I have been in a realistic. Okay, and I observe things apart from what society tries to feed me, just paint this picture and feed me. Okay, um, see online here, people will post a lot of memes concerning rich people. Excuse me. In our society, they have divided us in such a manner mentally that people that are not rich and have a lot of money are considered, wait a minute, what did I just say? People that are rich and have a lot of money are considered as the one percenters. All right. And people that are poor, that are may possibly be struggling financially, are considered as the 99 percenters. Okay. The 99 percenters actually consist of people that are doing very well financially. The only people that don't know that are people that aren't doing very well financially, all right? Or people that they have plenty enough money to take care of themselves, to feed themselves, to provide housing for themselves. They have plenty enough money to clothe themselves, and maybe even have a little extra to purchase vehicles, purchase homes, and even do a little entertainment, have a little, extracurricular entertainment on the side. All right. They will consider themselves as being the 99 percenters. Okay. So when you speak about poor, all right, and when I speak about the poor, we're talking about two totally different things, because you're not poor if you can feed yourself. You're not worrying about where your next meal coming from. You ain't poor. You ain't poor. If you have your rent and don't even have a question in your mind of how you're gonna pay your rent, you're not poor. If you have enough finances to pay for all of the things that I just itemized, you're not poor. Okay? You are not poor. You may be poor in mentality, but financially you are not poor. Okay? I'll say, according to my description of poor. Poor is when you don't know where your next meal is coming from. Poor is when you don't know if you're going to be homeless today or tomorrow. Poor is on a whole nother level that most people in the United States are not even familiar with. That's real talk. Okay. Oh, okay. But if we want to discuss this issue concerning poor people being greedy, well, that gets down to my point. United States provides a lot of aid or benefits to its citizens. Okay. If you are poor financially, the United States is such an awesome place. I don't know about other countries. As I said, I don't know about other countries. I can only speak on the behalf of the United States. And I also can only speak on behalf of the states that I have. I've been to a lot of different states, but I can only speak on behalf of the states that I'm informed about. But for the most part, and from what I've seen and from my experiences and from what I've heard from other people that have lived in the other states in the United States, the United States is an awesome place to be if you are poor, okay? Because we have a system set up here that is so awesome to to the point where it creates a situation and circumstance that no one, excuse me, no one in the United States should be without food. No one in the United States should be without housing. And you may say, well, how can you say that? Well, because I've been homeless. I've been without food. And because of the systems of the United States and where they are set up, I've never been without those things. I'm not saying that you can't have a situation where you are without those things. That's not what I'm saying, because there were times when I was without those things, but it was only because I wasn't knowledgeable. I had been always dependent upon myself for finances and different things. And so I wasn't aware of the different programs of the different churches. And when I say churches, I don't mean the service of the church or the religion of the church. I mean, there are a lot of churches that provide food, housing, clothing, and things of that nature to the general public. Okay, so during those times when I was without, for the most part, I was completely without because I had fallen upon some type of hardship. And I also was not knowledgeable of the different programs that are and the different churches and organizations that are out there that are available for those that are without. Okay. So this is what I want to get to. That's very important to this topic that many of you may not have known. Okay. Because just like I was without, and food, housing, and things of that nature, I have to realistically say that I was only without because, one, my family was being evil and wicked, and not very supportive. But also because of my lack of knowledge. I just didn't know. People don't realize that just because you don't know something, that does not mean that it does not exist. I see a lot of people arguing about God. All right, this is just an example. This is not a religious discussion today, but it's a very good example of how people argue about things. Even the Christians, they don't know God either. Okay, the atheists, they don't know if God doesn't exist, but they both will argue and hold. They have whole year-long conversations about something that neither of them know anything about. That is the most, to me, that is the most ridiculous and outlandish, unintelligent behavior that I have encountered in life. Not the most unintelligent. I've seen some really some really dumb shit, okay? But that's one of those biggies, when people will go so far as to have whole discussions and debates and so forth, and neither side know what they're talking about. Okay. It just really don't make no sense, okay, at all. And both sides think they're really smart and clever when neither of them know what they're talking about. Okay. This is why I started having this series, Did You Know? Because before this, I had another series called What is Faith? And the reason why I had started that series It's because I realized that a lot of people that are discussing religion would throw the word faith around, but when they would use it and what my knowledge of faith was, I was like, wait a minute, there's a lot of incorrect uses of this word here. And the bulk of the conversation was based on this faith, this word faith. Okay. So as I began to do the series, a lot of people stopped participating because they felt like fools, and they should have, because it was, I did it for a purpose, to prove a point that a lot of people are indulging in conversations, arguing back and forth about things they know nothing, absolutely nothing about. I don't know how intelligent you might think that might make you, but for me, when I look upon these videos and these debates, what I see is two idiots arguing back and forth. So this is the reason I don't watch videos of debates. Every now and then, depending on who it is that's talking in a video, I might skip through and see what's going on, what the conversation is about. But 99% of the time, I don't watch these debates because it's been a pattern of two idiots or a bunch of idiots arguing, talking back and forth, saying empty words that don't mean nothing or don't have no substance. Okay, now let's get on back on to the topic. Did you know that poor people can be greedy? I went all that far, would seem to be off topic, to come back to this topic specifically because it's very relevant. It is very relevant indeed. And this is why. You have people that complain about things all day long. I see it on my stream, my Google stream. Every day, all day, people are complaining, okay, about different things. They're complaining about our foods being contaminated. They're complaining about laws being passed. They're complaining about they dog neighbors barking too loud, and they complain about the preachers who have all this money and wealth, and the congregation don't have it. And why are these people giving these preachers their money? And I see people complaining about the animals and what people are doing to the animals and stuff. You see people that are into the earth and protecting the earth and all this kind of stuff. And they're complaining about what the chemicals and so forth are doing to the earth, resources and things of that nature. All right. Now, in all of that complaining, all right, a lot of it are the complaints. I'm not saying that the complaint itself is not legitimate, okay? A lot of the complaints are very legitimate, all right? But when people call themselves trying to come up with solutions or solving these problems, the first thing they do is, in their mind, is blame the rich people. It's the rich people's fault. It's the rich people's fault. They got plenty of money. Let's blame them. Okay. It's all their fault. Okay. I see a lot of posts, and these are some of my friends, and I hope they don't think I'm turning on them or anything, but if you are a friend of mine, what you mostly need to know is that Candy, keep it real, all right? And if you're not keeping it real, maybe you are voicing something with a lack of knowledge concerning something, I won't help you out. I do want to help you out so you don't be posting things that don't make sense, okay? Now, whether you know this or not, a lot of people are greedy, all right? So when people go into calling a person wealthy, greedy just because they have money, well, I want you to know that that's fucked up. All right, that's fucked up. Okay. The reason why I say that is because a lot of people that are wealthy, they are wealthy because they sweated and grind for that wealth. All right. So let's outline what the word greed means. Okay. Greed is when a person wants undeserved, undeserved. I repeat, undeserved portions of something. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be money. It could be land. It could be fame. It could be fortune. Whatever is the point of greed that makes it greed. When you have a desire, first of all, greed is a desire. And when you have a desire for something and it's undeserved, that is what greed is, okay? Being greedy, wanting more than what you deserve, all right? Or wanting more than a reasonable proportion to what your contribution was for that. Good example is when you come in to work, you know you don't have any skills or abilities for that job, and you still got a job where you're getting paid a fair amount for what it is that you're doing, but you want more just because. That's what I mean by wanting or having a unbalanced desire for undeserved portion. Okay, so here it is. This person did what it takes to own this business. You want to come in with no skills or anything, and you want to get paid $15 an hour to work at Walmart, pushing baskets. No, let's be real now. Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. No, y'all always want minimum wage increase. Okay. But realistically, no, sir. No, sir. See, because if that was your company, you wouldn't want minimum wage to be increased, knowing that you would be paying 15. If you were paying, you wouldn't want to be the one paying that $15 for somebody to push a cart back to a corral. You wouldn't want to be paying $15 an hour if you was the owner of McDonald's to flip a burger, all right, and put it in a bag, all right. if you was the owner. See, this is how you identify greed. When people want undeserved portions for their contribution. See? That's greed. That's greed right there. This is why people, this is how the music industry get people to do things that are immoral, that they wouldn't have normally done, because they prey on their greed. Okay. I saw a picture of Halle Berry with her. Now, I always thought of her as a respectable woman, even though I don't even know what the hell she did to be famous. I just kind of on the back burner say she cool, she all right. But the other day, I seen a picture of her with her breast nipples hanging out. When I say hanging out, she was completely and fully exposed in a, she had on a very sheer see-through outfit. And I thought to myself, how much money did it take for them to get her to do that? See, they preyed on her greed. She wanted money. Apparently her career might not be doing too well. Perhaps she's gotten herself into some large debts. And, you know, bills got to be paid. So she basically, they tricked her like a hoe. And now she's got a picture going around of her body, her nipples fully exposed. All right. Her not just her nipples, her whole breast area. Okay. Why? Why is a what used to be considered as a respectable person, why is it now that she's carrying herself in a whorish manner? She wants something that's undeserved. She wants money. She's done nothing to deserve it. So people with money have given her an ultimatum, said, okay, you don't have to do something for this money. And to get my $1 million, I want you to expose yourself like a whore. And so in order for her to get that undeserved portion of money, she had to do this. All right. So when you think of greed, a lot of people automatically think of money, okay? But I want to inform people to understand that greed is not totally and completely attached to money. Greed is a desire. It is a strong desire to obtain something that is undeserving. You know, if you are working on a minimum wage job and you don't want to do more for more money, you just want them to pay you more, well, you're greedy. You're being greedy, all right? Because remember what we said already, greed is a desire for an undeserved portion. See? So this is how poor people can be greedy. And, you know, poor people or wealthy people. Okay, now this is what I don't want y'all to understand. For those of you who think of all wealthy people as being greedy. Okay, I see a lot of times people that are jealous of Joel Osteen's wealth, that are jealous of Oprah Winfrey's wealth, that are jealous of Tyler Perry's wealth. These are all people that did things to be deserving of the status and the wealth that they have obtained. Tyler Perry did without people. He struggled really hard. He did what he could, and he obtained his level of wealth by sweat and tears. Okay. So as did Oprah Winfrey. All right. So another thing, Joel Osteen, his father's sweat and tears. He did a lot of sacrificing. When I mean sweat and tears, I mean people that have sacrificed for a specific purpose. They said, I want to do this or do that to reach a level of financial security. His father paid off all of their debts. He was the type of person that was very giving. See, these are the things y'all don't know or understand because your mind think greedy. Okay, you think that because you're getting your income in an undeserved manner, you automatically think that if another person has a lot of wealth, that they're undeserving of theirs too. Well, that's not realistic. That's just not realistic, huh? That's just not real. Because some people have worked their asses off. I worked my ass off. So whatever I acquire in life, I well deserve it. I well deserve it. And to tell somebody that you got too much money, that's a greedy mentality that now you want me to give you what I have just because you said I shouldn't have this amount of money. Although I might have worked my ass off to get it, you said that I'm undeserving of it by calling a person greedy. You're saying that they're undeserving of the money they work hard for. Meanwhile, most people, main people that will call other people greedy are people that are sitting on their ass playing video games on these hangouts, debating about nothing, doing nothing, and then have the nerve and the audacity to call somebody else greedy. You're doing nothing to deserve any more than what you have. And you have the nerve and the audacity to tell somebody that worked their ass off to get what they have in large quantities. You're telling them that they are not deserving of what they work for. All right. See, you see how fucked up that is? That if you don't realize that that's fucked up, I want you to know that's fucked up. A lot of people not gonna wanna accept this, but it's just the way it is, baby. Not that the way it is. If you don't like it, that's too bad. But that's the truth. A lot of people are sitting up playing video games, doing nothing, and calling the 1%ers greedy. You'll never see playing video games. That one of the people you'll never see on social media, the people that you'll never see I mean, of course, people have downtime and leisure time, but these are people working and thinking their ass off, and you know, even if a person is doing something wrong. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not condoning doing wrong, but what I'm saying is people can only do what they know to do. But my point is, even if a person is working towards doing something wrong, they're still working. They're not playing fucking video games and hanging around in hangouts doing nothing. making videos about working towards whatever their goals are. They're working. So when a person, and I would still have to put that person that's doing something wrong or putting their efforts towards something wrong as being greedy, because see, they're still undeserving of that wealth. So I wouldn't be able to include them in those that are deserving. They're still not deserving. If you're doing something wrong to gain, that's still undeserving. That's what greed is. No matter whether you're doing it and you're making a lot of money or whether you're making crumbs, the point is greed is a mentality of desiring something that is undeserved. All right. Just because a person is on welfare, and you'll have some people, middle class people, or people that don't even make a lot of money, talk about my tax dollars is paying for the poor. Motherfucker, if you're making minimum wage, a little bit over minimum wage, I'm gonna need you to know that you ain't even making enough money for your tax dollars to pay for you, much less anybody else. And that's real talk. I ain't trying to be funny or nothing, but that's just real talk right there. Okay. So just stop it with the bullshit about your tax dollars paying for people on welfare. Okay, just stop it. They create these IOUs to the government to pay for welfare. Your little crumb ass little tax dollars do not pay for welfare. I'm gonna need you to know that. Okay. For those of you who didn't know, I'm gonna need you to get informed that your little crumb ass dollars that they taking out your check is not enough to pay for welfare. It's not. I'm sorry. Your money that they taking out of your check, or that they taking out of I work from jobs that they's taking out of my crumb ass check, they take that and it goes towards your Social Security, so that when you get old, you'll have money that when you get your Social Security, disability, old people check, that is what you're paying towards. You're not paying for welfare with your little crumb ass dollars. I'm gonna need you to know that people on welfare, when they go into Walmart and purchase their items with their crusty heels and they slide up in Walmart, I'm gonna need you to know that they have to pay taxes too. And that's real talk. That's real talk, baby. So this is the real deal. That people that don't want to accept that a lot of people are poor because they're greedy. They won't even, okay, when I was starting my record label, and even now we're still in the come up stage, all right. A lot of times I'll have people come and I'll tell them we have a need or whatever. And I'll say I need people to help with this or that. And they'll, how much does it pay? Let me say to myself, you ain't doing shit with your life. And here it is, it's being presented to you that we're trying to do some positive things. You couldn't think that, okay, I'll spend 30 minutes of my time or an hour of my time and contribute that to a positive, cause. It's not costing me anything. I'll help out. You know what I mean? And there are people that greed mentality says, I want now. I want money now. I want whatever now. Okay, this is what makes people steal. They don't want to exchange. They don't want to do an exchange. That's fair. This is what makes people steal. Okay, greed. They want something, but they don't want to give anything in exchange for it. Greed. All right, that's what makes people steal, thieves. All right. Another thing, characteristics of greed. Now, see, when you think about a thief, do you know of any poor people that's thieves? Absolutely. The jails are filled with them. And the ones that ain't in jail, they in Walmart right now stealing something. Okay. So uh greed, when we speak of greed, people are not considering what greed really means. It means a person that wants something that they are undeserved serving of. They don't want to give it in exchange. They don't want to contribute anything. That's just like with our record label is in the growing stages. But we have people that come in and they want to take out. They want something from it, but they don't want to give anything. They don't want to contribute. They don't even want to share a post that's free. That don't cost them nothing but a click. Click. They don't want to even share a video. I had to get on my team. People that is on my team. That hey, if you really for the cause, can I get you to share some posts on the website or some of the videos on our YouTube channel? You know, people want the money. All right, they want money. They want the benefits. But realistically, they don't want to contribute to be deserving of the benefits. All right. This is why people, when they start a company and the company doesn't take off and start making a lot of money in the beginning stages. In the beginning stages of business, what will happen many times is you'll have to, even as you make money, you'll have to take the money and reinvest it. Take the money and reinvest it, you know, in order to build it up. Okay. And there are a lot of people that just want money. They want instant fame, instant money, instant, you know, microwave. And so this is why a lot of people give up on business endeavors or being an entrepreneur, self-employed. It's because their unrealistic expectations and wanting something they don't deserve, okay, and they haven't put enough effort into it, they will give up. They'll say, this ain't working. Well, it was working. You just didn't put in ample enough time or could contribute enough to be deserving of whatever it is that you're expecting, because you're being greedy. You wanted that big chunk of money right off. A lot of times when people run scams, how they get people is with their own greed. They'll run a scam and say, you can make thousands of dollars in one day. Now, what they tell you that now making thousands of dollars a day is not impossible. I sold cars, I made thousands of dollars in one day. I had my own businesses, I've made thousands of dollars in one day. That is not something that's impossible. What I am seeing it though is when you look at these scams, what they'll tell you, not only will they tell you that you can make thousands of dollars, they'll tell you you don't have to do nothing for it. That right there is what makes my alarm go off, okay? Because realistically, if anybody could make thousands of dollars and they ain't had to do nothing for it, do you know how many people would be doing nothing and making thousands of dollars a day? Everybody. Who wouldn't want to make thousands of dollars a day and do nothing? Who wouldn't want that? Okay. So but that's an unrealistic expectation. So what happens with that unrealistic expectation is the crooks are able to um, deceive you because they know you already. If that intrigued you, you already unrealistic. So they play on that. Okay, they play on the psyche of those that gamble and take chances. Okay, people that take chances are people that won't invest in something that's solid, that is sure money. So because the greed wants them to have the greed makes them want things that are undeserving. They want to put a quarter in the slot machine and get thousands back. Now I just put one more quarter in and I'll get thousands back. So I put another quarter. How about $1? How about $5? And they don't even realize after they done put quarters and put quarters and put the thousands of dollars they wanted, if they ever do get it, they didn't put it in there. That was already your $1,000. Dummy. That was already your $1,000. You put it in there. That's real talk, baby. This is how poor people can be greedy. That their minds are expecting something that's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. A lot of people that gamble can't count. And I'm going to end this with this because it's very, I don't mean to laugh at people that gamble, but people that gamble ain't too smart. And they can't add up that well. They don't do too well in math. Okay. Now, they might have done well in math in school. Okay. But they don't do too well in math in life. All right. Perfect example. What about sister? She loved to gamble, right? She loved to gamble, but she can't always tease her and tell her you can't count that well. I'll say because she'll say, "I won $500 gambling. Don't tell me I ain't winning." And I say, before you made that, before you got that $500 ticket, how many tickets did you buy before you got that $500 ticket? And how much did those tickets cost? Now, if you spending $10 a day on scratch offs for a whole month, all right, how much did that add up to? Okay, she had that up. Say, oh, well, that was what, $300, $10 a day. All right. So I said for 4 months, 3 months, you've been doing this here, $10 a day. And today you got $500. Do you realize in the what do you call that? Over the course of time that you have put your contributions of $10 a day and losing. You made $1 here, $1 there, $5 here, $5 there. When you add it all up, plus this $500, you have paid more than the whole amount that you have put in. You put in more, way more than this $500 you got back out, and you said that you winning. Okay, I got a problem with that. The reason why I got a problem with that it becomes a number that don't add up. And for those of you who didn't know, greed is one of those characteristics where I don't care how you put it or how you try to doctor it up, shit just don't add up. That's the end of this segment for today. But as always, I admonish you all to keep it real or take your ass back to fantasy land.